like Astronomicon. For Astronomicon, the best part about it is like it's like you're sitting at a vendor booth almost. You know, you go to a vendor booth, and it's just a table and a person, and that's basically how the con is structured, and that's the best part about Astronomicon.
Yeah, it can be a real zoo. Some of the big ones are just like crazy. I mean, you know, like Comic-Con is unbelievably large to the point where you're just like, is it a little too big?
yeah. One of those things where you gotta basically take like a whole weekend to actually get through the entire floor.
Yeah, you can't even get through it all. You can't really get because there's just too many people.
Exactly. With that, we would like to just congratulate you guys on the Paranormal Activity franchise. I mean, the film that you guys started a 6-movie franchise, and it was it brought a whole new meaning to shock value, because I'm telling you what, the jumps that these films produce. I think do you guys notice that there's a specific type of fan that you guys notice when you go to these conventions? I know you guys said you've only been to a couple, but is there like, if if there's like, you walk through a crowd and you're like, oh, there's a Paranormal Activity fan right there?
Well, I don't know if you could do it visually, but I know that definitely the kind of fan that we usually see, at least me, is like the sophisticated horror fan who's sort of like seen every kind of gory, weird, messy nonsense that you can come up with, and that's cool in its own way, but it's not necessarily the same kind of fear that you feel when you're not, when you don't see what's going on. There's something behind the camera. Then this is not just unique to Paranormal Activity. There's a lot of other films that use that concept.
Absolutely.
But that idea that you don't see the monster, and that your imagination is what's scaring you because you were creating it for yourself. That is, to me, is a very sophisticated kind of fan who really understands what horror is about and what we're doing. And those are my favorite fans to me, because, I mean, like, if you're able to appreciate film on that level, that means you're a pretty cool person.
I think the thing that's like been so exciting for me going to these few conventions that I've been to is that I think I kind of assumed that all of our fans would be like roughly my age or maybe a little younger. I just sort of had this sort of idea that they were all teenagers or 20-somethings, and I mean, it's kids, it's people who are my parents' age, who are like, very prim and proper and in their 60s. I had a couple come who drove like 2 hours to come meet me, and they're parents. They're like adults, and they love the paranormal movies, and they watch them with their older kids and then their grandkids. I mean, the spectrum of people has been so much more varied than I guess I thought it would be, and that's been a really fun sort of thing to realize, and lots of personal stories of watching them with their girlfriends, and now they're married, and just stuff like that. It's been really fun to connect with people on that level.
Absolutely. And then back to the fact of using your imagination and not being able to see the monster. A lot of people refer to the films as like reading a book in that aspect. Like, you basically project what you're reading into your mind, and a lot of people prefer that over film sometimes. So that kind of brought almost both worlds together, and I think that's a very unique mesh that not many franchises can target, let alone perfect. So.
I think a lot of otherwise great films sometimes get even spoiled by the fact like they show a little too much in some key moments here and there. I think it was it Hitchcock that started that? I forgot the quote, but he has a really great sort of speech. Quote. Oh man, I want to repeat it, but I can't find it in my brain. Anyway, Hitchcock was a master of that too. So it goes that way back in the film canon into Hollywood history, and we're glad that we were able to do something that worked.
It sure does.
Absolutely.
I actually have a question for both of you, and I'm not sure if this is legit or not because I just kind of seen it a couple days ago, but was there like a reshoot for number 2 or like an offshoot story called like Tokyo Nights?
Yeah. Yes, there was.
Though, right? That's like.
Yeah, that was a fully. Do you know? Now that you mention it, I have to see that film because I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, was that just a total different that someone else
It,
did?
you know, what happened was there was a Japanese company who bought the rights to make a sequel, and they made Paranormal Activity Tokyo Nights. But because it wasn't associated with Paramount, it was like not really in our radar, and we were doing like other things at the time, so it wasn't really something in our. But I need to see that movie. Thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely. Well, you guys were credited in it, so we wanted to ask about it, if you guys had any knowledge about it or anything like that, and made sure it was legit, because that was the one kind of big question mark we had in our research.
Yeah, no, it's legit.
I would never have thought of that. I probably wouldn't have remembered it, but I do remember that being like in the world for a while. That's so funny. Wow, what a good call that.
Yeah, let's watch it in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will try and find it for you. How's that sound? We love to bring the celebrities a little something. We just got done talking to Ming Chen from Comic Book Men, and he's actually a Michigan native. He lived here for 10 years, and he loves Faygo soda pop, and he can't get it anywhere, so we usually bring him some, and he's always so ecstatic about it.
Nice, cool.
Well, all right, guys. Well, we're winding down here. Is there any links or any type of charities that you would like to promote before we close out the interview?
Oh, any kind of charities we want to promote? That's a great question. Micah, do you have a charity you want to promote?
Well, you know what? Now that off the top of my head, I think there's a charity called Survival International that promotes indigenous rights, especially in places like the Amazon jungle. And given how indigenous rights are under attack, especially in Brazil right now, in a pretty serious way, I think that's a great charity. So to give them some props and some visibility, and if you go check them out, that would be really, really cool.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of, not the only thing I can think of, but the thing I think of first is I volunteer at a suicide crisis line every week. So if anybody wants to donate to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, you can go look them up online and donate your time or maybe some money or whatever feels comfortable, because it's always nice to help people who are feeling down.
That is correct.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we cannot wait to see you guys at Astronomicon. I'm sure you guys are gonna feel the warm Michigan love once you get here, because Astronomicon fans are a very special bunch, and definitely think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun. So, and hopefully we can get together for a face-to-face interview as well if you guys have time.
I would love it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right,
Looking forward to it.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Gabbers, that was Micah Sloat and Katie Featherston, and we will see you guys later. Thank you so much.